Hey there, everyone. Ervin here, and today we're going to be talking about the recently announced Difficulty 10 Super Helldive and Helldivers 2. The Escalation of Freedom update was just announced by Arrowhead, and with it has come an increase to the max difficulty of the game. So, I figured I would go over each of the new enemies being added in, some of the new mission types, and some of the more mechanical differences between 9 and 10 to help you prepare for what's coming up next. So, let's settle in and talk about everything that you can expect coming up on August 6th. First off, a raise in difficulty is likely to mean either a reduction in overall mission time available or a reduction in available starting lives. 20 lives has always felt like just a few too many for the max difficulty of the game, so I would not be surprised at all if this was reduced to, say, 15 or even as low as 10 to up the tension, which would, of course, up the value on some virtually never used boosters, the flexible reinforcement budget, as well as the increased reinforcement budget boosters. May finally see some use from the community as a result of this. Next, we've observed the enemy's speed in calling in reinforcements increase as the difficulty gets higher, giving you already less than half a second to react and take out the bug or bot that's calling it in. In Super Helldive, this time frame is likely going to be cut down even lower, meaning that you are going to need to be at the top of your game to prevent those reinforcement calls, or you're going to need to be ready to fight or disengage the swarm shortly thereafter instead, even more so than ever before. Speaking of reinforcements, the internal cooldown of reinforcement calls that prevents multiple coming in at the same time is likely going to see a reduction from difficulty 9's 2 minutes in between to what we speculate to be only a minute and a half between each reinforcement call. When baiting enemy reinforcements or trying to clear the enemy out of an area before they can call for even more help, you're going to have even less time than ever to do so. This is going to bring some additional value to the localization confusion booster, which increases this internal timer by roughly 25%. This is going to bring this timer back up to around what you're used to and will likely make this feel a lot less oppressive to handle than it would have been otherwise. And those reinforcements will be the spiciest that you've ever seen, hosting a plethora of new enemies for you to encounter. First off, we've got the return of the Impaler from Helldivers 1, a beast sporting generally the same body structure as a charger, but deploying large tentacles through the earth at your squad to attack and cut off escape routes. This enemy, as a result, is sure to make the tried and true strategy of the Terminid front of just simply running away just a little bit more challenging. We've got the Spore Charger charging its way into the battle, bringing a similar visual effect as the Spore Spewers localized around it. This is going to cut our precious visibility to shreds during the thick of battle against the difficulty 10 Terminid swarms, making it even more difficult to see those hunters creeping up on you. We're also likely to see the Bile Charger, an enemy that's been in the game files for a while now, also joining its ugly brother on the battlefield, either spitting acid at us or, at the very least, exploding on death in a shower of acid rain. Another new enemy skittering its way onto the battlefield will be the Armored Brood Commander. With a medium armored carapace and more health than its little sister, this new threat will also be spawning in groups of bigger, meaner armored warriors to assist it in running you down. This will likely increase the importance of having medium armor penetration as part of your loadout. As the Arc 12 Blitzer is my favorite primary already, I'll personally be having no problem zapping this new threat and its friends. So, think about dropping in with one of these when you take on this new difficulty. If you weren't sick of being in range of enemy artillery already, then you haven't seen anything yet. The Automatons are bringing in a new variant of their tanks to the battlefield, able to barrage you with missiles from a distance similar to bile spewers. If this enemy is capable of leading its target, then you're going to have a hell of a time avoiding these and will need to prioritize taking them out. Now, if it's unable to lead its target like the Devastators can't, your best bet is actually going to be to haul ass away from it as fast as you can to break its maximum targeting range, assuming you didn't need anything past it for the mission objective, of course. This is likely going to be about 160 meters away before it will stop firing at you, similar to the bunkers. If you do need to fight it, however, expect it to go down from any heavy AT that you've brought with you, all the same in just one shot from anything bigger than the commando launcher. But otherwise, keep your eye on the sky and keep moving, Helldivers. The devs have also teased that they hadn't shared everything coming with the new update in the trailer, so I've dug in to find what they may be referring to and found this little guy, the Terminid Dragon, a larger flyer than the previous swarming Shriekers, able to also burrow underneath the ground and ambush you. It's going to be pretty difficult to get away from these guys, forcing a fight onto you as a result with the new Impalers. Another new enemy marching its way onto the battlefield will be the new fully enclosed combat strider, sporting side mounted rocket pods that will deal similar damage to other automaton rockets. As it's fully enclosed, you're going to have no choice but to take it out with either explosive weapons like the Plasma Scorcher or Grenade Pistol, or you're going to need to bring minimum armor class 4 penetration support weapons to deal with these. Taking this thing out in packs is going to be pretty harsh considering the speed Striders can get up to whenever they're on the chase. Best to take this thing down the moment you see it or bring in some air support when encountering packs of these things. Teased at the very end of the trailer was the Jump Pack Bot Squad. The Jump Pack bots are the bane of existence for some Helldivers as one of their most hated enemies already, but these guys take it to a new level, traveling in entire squads of them. Some of these bots are also sporting a new long barreled laser rifle, likely a sniper of some description. So, if you are already tired of being sniped by heavy devastators 500 meters away from you that somehow hasn't lost you yet, despite running through 3 different smoke clouds and breaking line of sight 2 different times, well, now you'll be taking similar fire from these guys, except instead of it being complete bullshit, it's going to be justified. The jetpack boys exploding when they take damage to the pack deals enough damage to outright kill a Helldiver through the burning damage that follows. But diving away as you kill this enemy is going to be the best way to avoid damage as well as the combustion, same as it's always been. You'll just have to be doing this even more often than ever before. The Acid Rain environmental planet modifier is also going to be fully activated with this update. Acid Rain reduces both your armor as well as the enemies during the storm, making you take significantly more damage. This could either mean that the enemy will be receiving a -1 to all its armor values during the storm, or more likely, we speculate that it'll just be an increase to damage taken, same as us during the storm. Only time will tell, but don't be surprised if your medium armor penetration weapons still bounce off of Hulk skulls during these storms, all the same as it does now. It's very likely just going to be a damage amp on both sides between 25 and 50%. Some new mission types are also being added to the game in the form of extracting a larva from the Terminid horde. This thing takes up one of your backpack slots and is apparently very cranky about being carried off by your team. This thing is likely a baby hive lord, and this creature is capable of summoning entire bug breaches on an internal separate cooldown, similar to what we see in eradicate missions while being carried. You'll want your fastest Helldiver sporting some ultralight armor to carry this little guy, and you'll also want to be doing this objective last so that you can all run to the ship and leave as soon as possible so that you're not bogged down with its bug breaches the entire operation. Shouldn't be anything you guys can't handle, and honestly should be a ton of fun adding a bit of extra strategy to the gameplay loop with how you plan out doing all of your objectives. For the automatons, I believe we're going to be shutting down their human blenders. As to why they are putting our super citizens into blenders, I couldn't tell you, but one thing is for sure, it's for undemocratic purposes, and do we really need any more logic or reasoning than that? Absolutely not. So let's get in there and blow that shit up. To cap it all off, we've also got the introduction of some new super heavy outposts. These will include other mission structures within them, such as the detector tower, as well as numerous counts of enemy spawners and guards on site. But you know what loves a target rich environment, don't you, Helldivers? The 380mm barrage. I recommend getting your orbitals maxed out before things kick off on the 6th, as the 380mm barrage stocks are going way up with the introduction of these bases. With any luck, it'll take care of the whole structure for you the same as always. And if not, the 500 kg bomb, orbital laser, or commando will be there to clean these up no problem. So, I'm honestly not sweating the addition of these too much, but I am very much looking forward to the light show. Within these bases is going to also be an all new side objective to recover enemy intelligence. This intelligence disc will be a bonus objective that one of your Helldivers will need to carry under their arm to extraction for additional rewards, as well as access to an all new special mission yet to be disclosed directly. Now, this part here, that is something to be excited for, and I will be covering this on its own as I get more information in front of me. Time to get Noam Chomsky home, boys. That's all I've got as far as my coverage of what to expect in the upcoming Escalation of Freedom update, guys. I personally cannot wait to dive in on August 6th and hope you're as excited as I am. As someone who has historically always played and streamed the game on its highest difficulty, I am beyond super excited to level up the experience and drop in on my first super hell dive. Thanks for watching till the end, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.
And now, another helpful tip from General Brash.
Eravin has given us invaluable insight into the evolution of our enemies close at hand. For this, I am ordering all active Helldivers to like, comment, and subscribe to his channel. Failure to do so will see this nightmare made reality.
Brash tactics. Use them or die trying.